Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun talking about how to combat the winter blues with fragrance. So as many of you know, I'm a bit of a fragrance nut. But I also have been suffering from the winter blues just a wee bit, and I realized that I lean heavily on fragrance to kind of lift me out of those doldrums. So today I was going to share some tips and tricks of how I use fragrance, and I'm talking about all kinds of fragrance. I've got some shower gels, body butters, candles, and of course some fragrances that will help you combat the winter blues, along with a few other tips and tricks that will lift you out of the doldrums. So if you are somebody who has been suffering from the winter blues, or if you're somebody who loves fragrance and just likes to use it to help lift your spirit, then I think you might like this video. So if you're interested in learning more, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, I hate to admit it, but I have had a bad dose of the winter blues lately. It's been a little bit gloomy, cold, rainy here in the Pacific Northwest, and I am dreaming of warm sunshine beating down on my skin and getting me out of the doldrums. So I realized I lean heavily on fragrance to help me combat those blues. One of the first tips that I want to talk about is something that I do every morning, but I swear that it helps. And that is I make myself a warm cup of lemon water. And I swear by the power of a good mug of lemon water because it's going to give you a dose of vitamin C, and it's warm and comforting and nourishing. And this is also very cleansing to the system. It can be slightly invigorating from that lemon. So first tip, start your day off with a warm mug of lemon water. So next I'm going to lean into fragrance by starting out my day with a scented body wash. And I've got a few favorites here. I find that using fragrance first thing in my shower will sort of set the tone of my day. So if I'm having a sluggish morning, I will use my Necessaire. This is the body wash, and this is in eucalyptus. And so obviously eucalyptus is going to be very invigorating. It's going to open up my nasal passages, kind of wake me up in the morning, and I just love this body wash. So this is my invigorating body wash. And another one that I absolutely love is from Byredo, and this is Bal de Freak, and this is one of my favorite fragrances from Byredo. And this is a gorgeous woody floral fragrance. It's got the note of marigold flowers in here, and I just find it to be very joyful, like a really wonderful way to start out the day. So I just love lathering up with a scented body wash. It's going to help set the tone for the day, either be very invigorating, or this one is just very smile producing. It is warm, woody, floral. It's just a little joy maker for me, and I just love the way that I step out of the shower and I'm already feeling a bit more happy and invigorated for the day. Next, I'm going to moisturize my body, and this is again another area where you can use a scented body butter to kind of lift your spirits. And you guys have heard me talk about this body butter before. This is Fleur de Peau by Diptyque, and this is just one of my favorite body butters. It is very comforting. So this is a soft musk fragrance, very comforting, slightly clean. I always describe this as kind of putting this on your body, a nice veil of comfort, and getting into your bed where you have just freshly washed your sheets. So sort of white sheets. There's a slight cleanness to it. It has got notes of musk, obviously, iris and ambrette, as well as a little bit of pink peppercorn. To me, this is just comfort in a jar. This is just going to add a light layer of musk on your body. It's going to make you feel a bit clean, comforted, and of course hydrated. But this is just a really beautiful way to start the day. So if you are craving comfort, I would definitely recommend Fleur de Peau by Diptyque. This body butter is amazing. My newest favorite body butter, and this is going to be more on days when you are craving something a bit more tropical. Let's say that it is snowing outside or below zero or just a rainy, gloomy day, and you want to be someplace warm and tropical. I would recommend Kopari. This is their Ultra Restore Body Butter. And you guys, this just smells so good. Number one, really beautiful texture. This has got hyaluronic acid in it, and it is just so luxe. It just feels so awesome putting this on your skin. The reason I love this one is because it's got a slight tropical feel to it, but it's not too overwhelming. It just is going to give you just a little touch of that warmth on the skin, a little slightly coconutty tropical feel, but it's not too much. So it will just kind of lift you up, make you feel slightly like you're heading to the beach, but it's not going to be too overwhelming. So if you are going to put on another fragrance on top of this, it won't compete with it. So this one, I have to say, the body butter itself just is amazing. So hydrating. It's not sticky at all, but it has this really beautiful light scent that I've just been enjoying because it just lifts up my spirits and makes me feel slightly warm and toasty. Then after you have moisturized your body, if you want to take it up a notch, you can start to layer on a body mist. And I brought out two of my favorites, and this will be something that I will often do after I have stepped out of the shower and I have moisturized my body and I want to start to layer fragrances. Now remember, I am a fragrance nut. You can just pick one of these things to incorporate into your life to combat the winter blues. You don't have to do all of this, but for those of you that love to layer fragrances and stuff, I do like to go ahead and mist on a little scent. And number one de Chanel, this is L'Eau Rouge, and this is a new launch, and it is a fragrance mist, and it is just going to give you a light layer of fragrance. It is not going to be something that is going to have huge longevity. This is just a little pick-me-up that you can use throughout the day, and that's another thing you can use fragrance mists for, as just a little pick-me-up. This one's going to open with a bit of citrus as well as some red berries. Kind of is reminding me of cranberries, a little bit of tartness. And then it's got the classic Chanel, that jasmine rose combo, as well as a touch of orange blossom. And then in the base, you've got musk and iris. So this literally is just a little light layer of fragrance, a little fruity floral mist, a little pick-me-up. But once you step out and you're feeling clean, this is a nice way to layer on a bit of fragrance and lift your mood. So if you are somebody who likes fruity florals and the idea of just a little pick-me-up, this can be really nice just on its own, especially if you're not somebody who leans heavily on fragrance, but you want a little something to lift your mood. Definitely recommend this L'Eau Rouge from Chanel. Another one of my favorites is from Ex Nihilo, and this is Exalt, and this is described as a mist of pure bliss, and I would definitely agree with that. This is a silhouette of pureness, and that's exactly what it is. This is a very delicate, soft white tea, a little bit powdery mist, and it just is going to give you a little veil of scent on you that is going to make you feel clean. It's going to make you feel feminine. It's going to make you feel comforted. And this just pairs really beautifully with so many fragrances. So this is a very subtle combination of white tea rice powders. So there's definitely a beautiful, delicate powderiness to this mist. It's got soft musks and a slight floral note of sparkling orange blossom. Nothing too strong. So if you're somebody who doesn't like orange blossom, this is not super strong. This is just really a delicate, soft, powdery, clean feeling mist, and I just love it because you can put this on, you can layer it with other fragrances to give a little bit of that clean note. If something feels a little too dense and heavy, you can use Exalt to kind of lift it up. So these are two fragrance mists that I'd recommend. This one is going to be a little bit more fruity, floral, invigorating, and this one is going to be this soft cocoon of white tea, musk, clean and pillowy. Next, I want to mention candles because candles are such a great way to lift your spirits and add a little scent throughout your home. And I love it because seasonally you can kind of change them out. During the holidays, you may have candles that are a little bit more Christmassy or holiday with some pine needles and those kind of outdoorsy holiday scents. Or you could scent your house with your favorite fragrance or notes. So I love these candles from Bohème. These are just lovely. This one is Istanbul, and this one has cardamom, ginger, bergamot, cassis. In the middle notes, it's got Turkish rose and iris, and then in the base notes, it's cedarwood, amber, and saffron. And you guys, this just makes my entire house smell very warm and inviting. Another one of my favorites is from Ex Nihilo. By the way, if you have not tried their candles, they are amazing. I'm a fan of the brand overall, but you may not have known that they have candles as well. And this one is Gold Immortals. And that's one of the fragrances that I really enjoy. It's got this really lovely note of pear in it. It just smells so good. And I will often light one of these in my room while I am getting ready. I of course love diptyque candles. This one is 34 Saint Germain, so good. But you get the gist. Lighting a candle, infusing your environment with a bit of scent can totally pull you out of the doldrums. And you can also have a little bit of fun with it. If you're feeling warm and cozy, you can light a warm and cozy candle. If you want something that feels more invigorating and spring-like, you can light a more floral scented candle. The world is your oyster, and there's so many great candle brands out there, but this is something that I like to incorporate into my life. It's sort of a form of self-care, and I find it's just a subtle way to shift the energy within your environment and your home. Okay, next we're going to dive into some actual fragrances that are going to lift your spirits. And I've picked ones from different genres, from invigorating fragrances to warm and cozy fragrances to those that have the tropical vibe. It's going to transport you to someplace warm and okay, so let's start with warm and cozy. Sometimes we just want to lean in to those warm and cozy fragrances when it is cold outside and we just want to cuddle up on the couch with a blanket, a warm cup of tea, maybe the fireplace is crackling in the background. But those kind of fragrances can also help get you out of the doldrums because you're just stepping into it, enjoying the warm, cozy nature of the fragrances and shifting the way that you are thinking about the outside weather. So one other tip that I have for pulling you out of the doldrums is to make a warm cup of tea. And I've mentioned this brand on my channel before. I'm a huge fan of Magic Hour teas, and this one is Bohemian Breakfast. Just a gorgeous black tea blend. It smells so good, you guys. So I will often make myself a warm cup of tea. And thinking of tea fragrances, I wanted to give a shout out to Gris Charnel from BDK. This is just one of the best warm, cozy, tea-based scents out there. This one is literally your cashmere sweater. Put that on. You've got your warm mug of tea. This is going to open with cardamom, fig, and black teas, and it just smells so warm and cozy from that black tea and that cardamom. And it's got a little note of iris in here, and then a very warm woody base. So it's got vetiver, sandalwood, and tonka bean. So as you can imagine, those are all going to provide you with this warmth and comfort. But if you're somebody who loves black tea or chai, this to me actually does smell like almost like chai fragrance on me in a very beautiful way. Warm, cozy, comforting, but it's also a bit invigorating as well because you've got those woody notes kind of lifting you up. So this is basically your warm, cozy, cashmere wearing, chai drinking fragrance. And these are for those days that you just want to step into that cozy feeling, cuddle up on the couch, and then just enjoy the beautiful white winter wonderland. We've started out with our tea scent. Now I want to move on to my coffee scent. And this one is going to be more of a gourmand fragrance that I absolutely love. You guys have heard me talk about it before, but we're still staying in that warm and cozy genre. But this next one's going to have a bit of sweet to it as well as a coffee note. And I bet you guys can guess, but it is one of my favorite gourmand fragrances, and that is from Fragrance du Bois, and this is Minuit et Demi. And I wanted to mention this one because it also layers gorgeously with this BDK Gris Charnel. So just going to mention that if you have these in your repertoire, try that combo out. But otherwise, what we're going to be doing is actually getting out into the world, going to a really nice cozy coffee shop, and as we walk into the coffee shop, there is somebody in the back baking up some delicious baked scones. You're gonna go in and order a caramel mocha latte, like you're having a little treat, and you smell these delicious baked goods, and then you get this warm coffee drink, and it has a bit of sweetness to it. There is a note of caramel in here, but that coffee note is going to shine through and give a really beautiful richness to this gourmand scent. This also has notes of cardamom, vanilla, a bit of pimento, which is just slightly spicy, a bit of sweet tobacco, and then some woody notes in the base. This is just a stunning gourmand fragrance, and this is another one that's going to lift you out of the doldrums. You're kind of stepping into that warm, cozy feeling and just really enjoying the cloud of warmth that this is going to provide you with. I know I sing the praises of this all the time, but it truly is a most stunning gourmand fragrance, and I just love it, and it layers beautifully over other fragrances as well. So warm, cozy, inviting. It's going to put a smile on your face. Okay, the next scent I want to talk about is more of a green fragrance. So this is where you are sick of the snow or the rain and you want something that is going to catapult you, possibly having some spring vibes. You are craving fresh cut grass, just a more fresh, green, invigorating scent. And this one is Fig Fever, and this is by Hermetica, which is a really cool brand of fragrances. These are sustainable, clean fragrances, and I've just fallen in love with this fragrance. So I am a true fig lover. Like, I love fresh figs. I love to eat them. I love the smell. I love everything about them. And I get teased because when it is fig season, I just go crazy and nuts. If you can scroll through my Instagram, you will see I have many pictures posted about figs. That's how much I love them. But this fragrance is actually highlighting the molecule of fig leaves. So this is a very green and invigorating scent, but it also has a note of black currant. So you've got a little bit of fruitiness in here, and then it dries down to an amber woody scent on the skin. So it's got the best of both worlds. It's going to provide you with a little invigorating lift, but it is going to also have some warmth to it. I love that black currant in here. It's got a little bit of fruitiness, but it's not too sweet. This also has some beautiful florals in here, so it's got that feminine touch that I like as well. The notes in here are apple, mandarin, molecule, cassis, bergamot, cardamom oil. You've got rose, lily of the valley, iris. You've got cinnamon, jasmine, vetiver, myrrh, patchouli, tonka, moss, and also plum. So there's a lot going on in this fragrance, but it is just pure joy to wear. And I think because I have been craving a bit of sunshine and spring-like weather, that this was just an instant love for me. And also because I love figs so much, this was a no-brainer. I also love the fact that Hermetica fragrances use green chemistry and are alcohol-free. They're long-lasting, moisturizing, cruelty-free, and refillable. So not only is this more of a green and invigorating fragrance, this too is green or clean, which I think is really cool. And when you are wearing these, you guys, this is very moisturizing on the skin. So it does not include alcohol. So when you are spraying these on your skin, it's got a touch of oil in here that's going to make the fragrance, number one, last a bit longer, but it's also moisturizing on your skin. There's just something very invigorating and luscious about this fragrance. It also has some grassiness to it, so that's what I'm saying. This is a green fragrance. So this is going to transport you to a time where you can go frolic around in fresh grass, and then to take a break and eat a fresh, juicy, luscious fig. This fragrance just feels like I'm connecting to the earth. I would say there's a slight earthiness to it. So definitely recommend Fig Fever by Hermetica, and let me know if you've tried any other of these fragrances. I'm very intrigued by this brand and will be exploring more of them. So would love to know what your favorites are. Okay, we have tackled Warm and Cozy, more of a green, invigorating fragrance. And now I want to go ahead and talk about a floral fragrance that is going to kind of transport you to spring weather. And I've been obsessed with this Lilac Love from Amouage. And this has a very dominant note of lilac in here. And I'm just obsessed with this fragrance. It's because I find it is the perfect winter floral. So you may not be ready for those really light floral fragrances that are perfect for hot weather, but you do want something that is going to give you a little bit of feeling that you are stepping into the spring months, but this one has a bit of depth to it. So Amouage by Lilac Love is going to give you just that. So this does have a beautiful bouquet of flowers, with lilac being the most dominant, but this also includes heliotrope, peony, and gardenia notes. So really gorgeous mix of florals. And then it's got a bit of butteriness from the orris, as well as this layer of chocolate or cocoa from the cacao. And then it has tonka in here, which is always going to provide a bit of richness and depth to fragrances. In the base, we've got creamy sandalwood, clean patchouli, and vanilla. So this is a fragrance that you can wear year round if you're somebody who likes a more complex floral fragrance. You are going to love Lilac Love. So if you are craving spring weather with all the beautiful flowers blossoming, but you also need a bit of depth to your florals, I definitely recommend Lilac Love. It is going to lift your spirits. It's going to transport you to spring, but it's going to dry down slightly powdery. It's going to have that lovely richness from the tonka. It's got a layer of chocolate in here. So chocolate and lilacs mixed together. It's just intoxicating. It is also a compliment getter, this Lilac Love. You are pretty much guaranteed to get compliments when you're wearing this. I think it's just got a touch of everything that will really garner compliments. The florals in here are just gorgeous, but not too in your face or too heady. They're balanced by the warmth of the creamy sandalwood and the clean patchouli. And then that layer of cacao and tonka really give it a little bit of a pow factor. So cannot recommend Lilac Love enough. I'm still obsessed with it and just love it. Now, if you are wanting to escape to the tropics, or you're actually going on a warm tropical vacation, the next one is exactly that in a bottle, and that is from Fragrance du Bois, and this is Oud Jaune Intense. And you guys, this is just rich, intoxicating, tropical goodness. This has got ylang ylang, it's got pineapple in here, it's very tropical. So this just takes me right to the beach, and I am in a sundress, and I'm going to be drinking some fabulous drink out of a pineapple. Your feet are in the sand, so you are feeling connected to the earth, and you feel a little bit sexy, you feel a little bit flirty, you're just having the time of your life. This is tropical vacation in a bottle. It is gorgeous, it is intoxicating, and completely going to transport you to someplace warm and toasty and lovely. And I actually love to wear this during the winter months, especially if I'm having a day where I'm feeling a little bit down and out and I am needing to lift myself up and take myself someplace fun, flirty. I'm going to reach for my Oud Jaune Intense. And this is another one that's going to garner a lot of compliments. It's got gorgeous florals in here. It's got pineapple. It's got a touch of vanilla. The oud in here is very smooth, combines very well with sort of the milky nature of the other notes, and it just is tropical goodness in a bottle. For those of you who are craving a tropical vacation, definitely check out Oud Jaune Intense. I have one more tropical fragrance to mention. This is from Invigorating, and this is Ylang in Gold Nectar. And if you're not familiar with this brand, this is definitely one to check out. Look at the gorgeousness of this bottle. And of course, we've got the beautiful nectar fragrance inside. This one is focused around the ylang ylang note, along with this gorgeous dose of vanilla in here. And the ylang ylang is going to be a very creamy floral note. Again, smells tropical. The vanilla in here is just outstanding. This also includes peach, tangerine, lychee, bitter orange, and then it is tempered down with a bit of sage and rosemary. And this also has a little bit of mint in here, which I just love. In the base, you've got vanilla, musk, coconut, and moss. This fragrance is along the same line of Oud Jaune Intense without the oud note in here. And this is another long time favorite. So Ylang Gold, and this is Ylang in Gold Nectar. And the difference between the Ylang in Gold and the Ylang in Gold Nectar, I would say this one's a bit more toned down. It's not quite as sweet. The prominent notes in here are going to be the ylang ylang flower, as well as the vanilla that just really shines in here. And this fragrance again is going to transport you to somewhere warm and sunny, slightly tropical, and it will put a smile on your face. Okay guys, those are my tips and tricks and recommendations to help combat the winter blues. As always, I love to hear from you. What is your favorite perfume or scent that lifts you out of the doldrums? Let me know below in the comments, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be back with another one soon.